Good morning, Facebook viewers and part of our family. Well, it is Friday morning again. Here it is 10 o'clock, and we're pretty stoked to be here. Jeff Rogers.
Amber Dollison.
And we're here to talk business. This week it is our marketing topic. We've been trying to switch kind of back and forth, marketing one week and business development the next week. But I gotta say, I'm really excited that you guys are getting involved. I think we had over 650 views, something like that, every week.
Yeah.
A lot of great folks getting involved. So thank you so much for talking about us online down there in the comments, which we are watching, and happy to reply and come get involved. Tell us your story. But also, some folks have been talking to us about it offline too.
Yeah.
Thank you guys that are watching the show offline. And
yeah, I've had some friends come up and talk to me about how they've been watching the show. Have you had that happen?
I have. I definitely have.
I talked to Anthony Gavlik and Megan Gordon. So Megan Gordon owns Corpus Christi Liquor Catering Company, and she approached me at the farmer's market the other day.
Nice.
And she was talking about people asking her what her tip for starting a new business is. And so she told me that her number one tip for starting a new business is whatever you think that you're gonna spend or you're gonna budget toward marketing, whatever that number is in your head or how much you think it should cost you, you need to take that number and triple it just right off the bat. And we both like had a little giggle and laughed, and I was like, wow, she's kind of got it. She's got a point.
You know, and that's true for multiple reasons. One is, you take into account how much the design costs. You don't necessarily take into account the fact that it has to be printed on something, or the fact that it has to be shipped, and the fact that it takes a long time to create those sorts of things. But effective marketing really is more than just having a great logo, which is important, but it's a lot more than that. It's something a lot bigger, and something that can be unexpected.
Well, I think we like to use the sentence, build it and they will come, like all the time, like Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. But I mean, that's not realistic. Like you can have the most fabulous business idea, you could build the greatest brick and mortar, but if people don't know where it is, if people don't know about it, what it stands for, they're not going to come.
Yeah, it's not enough for a small business to be successful. Obviously, you have to have revenue at some point, so it's not enough to be a secret genius. You can be great at what you do, but it's not going to help your business if somebody doesn't know about it.
Right.
And, one of the things I think, you say triple your budget. I mean, the thing that stands out for me for marketing is it's one of those things that pays for itself. So, hey guys, sorry for the interruption. That was my wife calling me, probably to say that there's some problem with the technical feed. I hope that's not the case. If it is, tell us in the comments. So, with budgeting, what was I saying? I don't know. It's that kind of morning. It's a coffee morning.
Yeah. Triple cup, guys.
Yeah. So it's about return. To be able to get a return, you have to make an investment. You have to be able to grow your marketing, and it's about how many dollars you get back, not necessarily how many dollars you put out. So when you might spend $1 million. If you make $1,001 back on that, then it was probably worth it. If you spend $100 and you only make $50, then it wasn't a good return. So a lot of it comes down to how much you're going to get back.
Right.
So a marketing budget should be paying for itself. Find a good marketer, but make sure you're investing in an amount that can give you a return.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And the other thing is, I don't think it's necessarily that you need to triple your budget, but whatever it is that you think that it's going to cost you in time, whatever you think that it's going to cost you in energy, I think that you have to highball it. People need to see things multiple times before they visit it. One example that I use is there's a tea house on McCardle. It's tasty. I don't know if you've been there yet, but they have fabulous bubble teas. I drove past this place I don't know, 2-3 times a week for a year, and every time I drove past, I was like, man, that place looks good. I need to go there. I would like to try that, but I didn't for a year. Yeah. And then one day on my Facebook feed, a picture of an iced bubble tea came up from Anthony Gavlik, posted a picture of his tea, and I was like, hey, is that place good? And he's like, oh, my wife loves the bubble tea. You should definitely try it. The very next week, I went to Tasty, and was quickly turned into a regular customer. I was there like 3 times a week for like March, April, May. Every time I dropped my kids off at school, I'd go back and give myself a tasty. It was pretty good stuff.
Well,
yeah, and so that's not necessarily a marketing budget, but somebody took the time to post it on Facebook and tell people about what they liked about it, and that's what got me in the door, not driving by the building.
You know, to accomplish something, anything, whether it's in business or outside of business, you have to have one of 3 things in balance: time, effort, or money. And those 3 things you always get to trade one for another, right? Well, the cool thing about marketing today is sometimes effort will give you a lot better return than a monetary investment.
Right.
I mean, obviously you want to start with a really solid brand, you want to have a design and a concept and a message that you're sending, but if you hold back part of your marketing budget for outreach, for social interaction and engagement, you're going to get a lot out of that, like really huge, because you know, in marketing we call them touches. It's a weird description, but that's really what it's called. And it takes between 7 and 12 interactions with your brand for someone to be successful, and for them to recognize who you are. Maybe they heard about you on the radio. Maybe they saw your post on Facebook. Maybe they were referred by a friend or saw a picture on Instagram. Well, all of those start to build up, and you start to become relevant to someone's memory. And in today's marketing, you have to go where people are and do things that people are interested in. And so much of that is social.
Yeah, it is. And I think one of the things Corpus Christi loves is brand new businesses. We like to talk about the brand new thing, the fun thing. But and I think as a business, I mean, that's great. You're like, oh, everybody's talking about me. But then after a couple months, that organic buzz tends to die down a little bit. So you as the business owner have to find a way to keep that buzz going. And there's lots of ways to do that. You know, you can throw additional events, you can do additional promotions, you can have like hashtag parties, you can there's just different ways that you can keep that buzz
organically, without any real cost, or with only the cost of bringing in somebody who's a pro at it and grow that. And then that way you still get to be the next big thing. You get to keep being that new thing, and the more times that you have that, the more people start to pay attention and the more it grows. So I mean, that's a great tip is grow the social side of it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and it's got to be, I mean, it can't be the same thing all the time. You have to bring new ideas in, but there's some businesses that are really doing it successfully right now. So I'm proud of them.
Like us. So make sure that you're commenting down below, and make sure that you're giving us feedback and getting involved, because we want to hear your stories, and
absolutely.
we want to make sure that we get to talk about your business. You know, every week we get to sit here and talk with each other about business, and talk with Monica or talk with other small businesses, both in the studio / office and outside of the office. And so your business is important to us, and it's important to a lot of folks, because when you started your business, things were really hard, and you learned a lot of tips. And like Megan, you know, she's got a lot of great insights. So use those insights, bring them on the show, and you can sit in our oyster chair, and you can be that third person to tell your story, because we want to be able to talk about it.
Absolutely.
So, not to jump on another topic or a similar topic, but you talked for a second about marketing budget there too, and I want to talk for just a second about how to budget marketing for small businesses, because when I started a small business the first time, and also this time, you know, you always start out with a dollar amount. There's a dollar amount that you have, whether it's through loans or whether it's through personal investment financing, or you know, your family believes in you enough to give you some extra money to get started, or however you got it. There's usually a dollar amount, and so one question that I get a lot is, you know, well, I've got $500 to spend, or $1,000 to spend, or $10,000 to spend. Rarely will I get $30,000 to spend on marketing, but it has happened, you know, and so there's like a fixed amount.
Right.
And the important thing is how you invest that. So not to make anybody mad, but don't invest in the yellow pages. That's not going to give you a return, right? But social marketing is huge, like we talked about. The thing I would say, if you've got a budget, you know, is sometimes you may not be able to triple your budget. You may not be able to say, well, I've got $750, you know, I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 times that. You still only have that amount. Make sure you keep a third of it for your brand, make sure you keep a third of it for social outreach if you can. If you've got a break point at $750, it's going to be hard to get started. But if you start that by creating a solid message and a solid brand, and then you use your sweat labor, your sweat equity, get yourself out there and knock on the doors, or post on Facebook, or get one of our social media training conferences with Amber. Come in and sit down and talk with us about your brand, about your business, because you can take that information and turn your $750 or $1,000 or $3,000, whatever your marketing budget is, into a lot more through that outreach. So make sure that you save some of that for building your message, because otherwise your message is just noise.
Yeah, and if you're wanting to learn more about social media marketing, we've got a 3-part series coming up, 3 classes at the SBDC. The first one will be July 27th, and we're going to be talking a lot about the customer relationship management, what that's looked like before at just a bricks and mortar, or before social media, and how that's changed, how that model has changed, and how you can use that to your advantage. The second class, we're going to be talking about creating positive buzz. And the third class, we're going to be talking about what to do if you have had negative buzz, and how to kind of prevent those negative reviews, those negative comments, like what you can do about it, how you can create a space that doesn't have very much of it, and how you should respond to it if it happens to you. Because it's going to happen. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody it is able to express those now on social media in a way that they maybe weren't able to 20 years ago. So, and that's changed small businesses in a huge way.
It really has. Today's marketing is nothing like, you can't just put an ad in the newspaper, or an ad in the Yellow Pages, as much as we love those, and expect to get return on that, because it's not integrated.
Right.
It's not integrated in people's lives. You have to be where people are and do what people are doing.
Right. Well, and thinking about the things that I've bought, or the places that I've gone in the last, couple of months, most of it is, if it's a new thing, most of it is because somebody told me to.
Yeah.
And it sounds funny, but a friend of mine would say, have you tried this place yet? You should go there. Or an Instagram post, or a Facebook post, or something. I usually try new things because somebody else had a positive experience there. That's normal. That's normal consumer habits.
So if you had to say, and you're on the spot now. If you had to say one pro tip on where to invest your marketing dollars, what would you recommend?
I would say make sure that you have solid branding. Solid branding. If we're talking about just getting started out, have solid branding, and then invest money, but also invest time in social media marketing. And not just you saying your thing over and over again. The idea of engaging your customers and engaging other people in sharing. If a customer posts a picture of your latte or your iced tea, you should be resharing that on every single social media venue that you have. Delish, Nicole Konzerski owns Delish, and she's really good about resharing customer photos. Anytime you take a picture of your food from Delish, she'll share it on everything. She's great at that. So I think that would be spend your money on branding. Yeah,
make a solid brand and then make a lot of noise about it.
Make a lot of noise about it.
And a hack for that is find your teenage niece or daughter, or I don't know, I'm old, you're not. So daughter now, but find somebody who's really, really good at social media, and then say, hey, listen, would you like to be my social media pro? Even if it's an immediate relative. And then I think the next step from that is social media hacks, SEO hacks, like search engine optimization. One that I share all the time is Groupon. For $0 investment, you can use Groupon's marketing dollars for that. Create a Groupon. It doesn't cost you anything to start, and they're going to push you up to the front page because they invest a lot in that. Second one is Google Places. You can get a huge return about creating a Google Places page.
Yeah.
But you're right. It all starts with a brand. It all starts with a message. It all starts with colors, logos. I mean, you look in our office, everything's the same color. It's for a good reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, if you're starting out a business brand new, you definitely should not skimp on the branding. I think that would be the most important thing, because if you do, and then you decide that you want a better, stronger brand, then you have to go through a rebranding process, and that's not ideal. If you could start off strong, that's better.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's been a great week. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this and hanging out with us every Friday morning at 10 o'clock. We always look forward to your comments. We always look forward to your questions. And you've got a brain trust here that's ready to support your business. So get involved. And Amber's going to be sending a call out shortly for businesses to get involved with the show. If you want to be on the show or if you want to be involved with the show, let us know and we'll support your business too.
Absolutely. And join us on July 27th at our social media class. I'm going to be inviting all of you to it, and I hope to see you there.
All right. Hey, get out there, rock on, love your business, and we'll see y'all next week.
Have a great week.